in the mix as well, as the cars now accelerate up towards the timing line. Anders Fjordbach gets very keen with his right foot and blasts away. Then he jumps ahead of Bert Langevin as they drop down towards turn one, and Vergers comes hurtling up the inside line. He bounces over the curb. That forces Langevin out wide. They all run wide over the curb, in fact. Thought for a moment disaster was in the air there, but they've all got through safely. So Anders Fjordbach leads the way, on board with Vergers then up the inside line into turn two. He brakes as late as he dares. He's got the tighter line for two. It's the outside line for three. Bert Langevin tries to stay alongside him, but Vergers gets the job done. And this is the view from the Porsche.
And this Porsche as well, really quick in a straight line. We saw the top end of it down here was absolutely unbelievable. Look at that as well in the slipstream, but on its own, it's just got this unbelievable amount of power top end. He stays in the middle of the road to try and cover it off from Fjordbach, who stays down the inside, but he's later on the brakes. Has he gone in too hot? Yes, he has. Have they all gone in too hot? Yes, they have. All of them now scrambling to get back on, as now, the Audi on the right-hand side needs to leave the room there to make sure that Fjordbach can get back on. But this is incredible touring car style fighting on the first lap, David. Unbelievable stuff.
So Bert Langevin briefly led for a split second, but Fjordbach's gone back ahead of him. Vergers is back up into second place. Langevin third. He's going to get under attack in a minute from Peter Cox with the KTM there, who is right with him. And fifth is kind of everybody else, with Luca Piri at the moment, just being able to hang on to the place as they dive down then, heading towards the stadium in a moment to dive into that first element of it, into the Mobile 1 curve. Through the right-hander they come then.
Fantastic stuff from Hans Stuck. You never lose it, do you? It's like riding a bike for him. Absolutely epic stuff. But this is phenomenal by Vergers, because he's just bouncing between these two Audis. He's under attack from Langevin, then he goes forward and has a go at Fjordbach as well. And I mean, I don't think either of us are very surprised that he got one for track limits after that first lap, but what a phenomenal start to the race. As that's understeer on understeer that is, and surely Langevin's going to close right up to him. But again, the corner's just not where that Porsche lies strong. And this hairpin as well, they've been struggling on the way into here, and well, there's a very, very easy observation to make that the Audi's definitely better there.
But that Porsche is struggling again for traction. You see Vergers is good on his racecraft, great on the brakes, goes back through. Langevin looks to get the switch back and go to the inside line at turn 17 out of the Sud curve. He's got the drive off the corner, as again, all arms and elbows in a way, as Michael Vergers trying to persuade that car to grip, to bite, to give him the feel, the traction that he needs. He's got the pace in a straight line, but through the corners, and there are 17 of them, that thing is a right handful.
It is indeed, and to be honest, if you haven't seen the racing before, everybody, watch the racing before. When it was in the wet, it was even more lively. I don't think it ever went through shot in a straight line from what we saw, but look, everybody else lining up behind now. You've got Cox, Piri, Stuck, all waiting to make a move, but that Porsche is so exciting to watch. It's dancing around on the surface, but Peter Cox has probably got up to the back of this thinking, flipping heck, what have I got myself involved with here? He's going to be absolutely loving the challenge, though, to get past these two. Now Langevin needs to be really on his toes, because I mean, Cox attacking from behind, Vergers in front of him, two unbelievably experienced drivers. He's not got this easy, has he? Not
at all. He's got a whole line of cars queued up. The one beneficiary of this is Anders Fjordbach.
And they're still so close together, and over a lap, barely any difference. It's great.
Which proves the BOP works.
No.
And that is Langevin going off the road. Scrabbles back on. That's going to cost him dear, isn't it? He's going to tumble down the order. So Bert Langevin falls now into 7th place, having got it wrong coming into the stadium. I was about to offer you the fact that Michael Vergers had done the absolute best of anybody in the first sector in the Porsche, and now his task is eased, because he doesn't have to think about defending, because Langevin has had a rallycrossy moment. Does he go for the pits? He does. Has he got a big problem then? Is that what put him off the road? Let's see. Here's what happened. Oh, it's already gone. The back end steps out, and then Cox goes down the inside and says, just go see if the gravel's wet for us, mate. Just try that out there. It was heading to the gravel anyway, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Cox was coming through. Yeah, definitely. And it was Langevin's problem there. Down the huge parabolica here towards the very tight hairpin. Little flash of the lights there from Hans Stuck, maybe just saying, are you going to brake this time? And Jordan Witt says, yeah, but I'm going to brake later than you. Watch this. Chucks the Lamborghini down the inside. Hans Joking Stuck. Still, you don't lose it, mate. Back down the inside again. Still side by side on the exit. Who's got the firepower down the straight then? And who's got the fruits to chuck it through this right-hander at full chat? Stuck down the inside. Holds onto the place for now. Jordan Witt will fight back on the inside line. He's going to brake late. Stuck sees him coming. He'll go for the undercut, will he? No, he was run out a little bit too wide there. So Jordan Witt does mug him. He does go through, gains the place. Now this is 24. It's just rejoined the race. Chris Rosenberger at the helm of it, the rally driver. And as he brakes, the bodywork lurches forward as they wasn't put on the catches properly. So he has to slow, and down it comes. Now, what I'm thinking at, I'm not sure whether I saw that correctly, but
the clips for that are on the outside of that bodywork.
So it could happen again.
So it could happen again, but not only that, but he's going to probably have to hold that down every time he goes onto the brakes.
That could be due another pit stop, is what we're saying.
Yeah,
Couldn't it?
I was going to say, yeah, either that or he needs to get his get some money together for a big laundry bill.
Yes.
But
well, the air conditioning is effective, but there's nothing else.
And so here's the 33 on the back of the 88, and into the pits he comes with barely 30 seconds left to go to the pit window. That's a really good call, to be fair. He's done that to perfection, and obviously that counts when he hits this white line, which is now. So 26 seconds left to go, I'd say, is about the official figure.
69-year-old, he's good to go, but Aurelius Rustica is on his way. Now, don't forget, oh, hello, what's he done? And the team said stop. If they have said stop, that's going to be a problem, because you shouldn't leave your pit box and then stop on the pit lane. So that might get looked at, but maybe they released him too early and then realised the mistake and said, no, wait. But the stewards might look at that. Mark Patterson left and then certainly stopped. He wasn't in the fast lane, he was in the working lane. He keeps the lead over Rustica, but the stewards may have a look at that for the release. Let's see. And don't forget as well, he's got to get himself up to speed here, whereas Rustica is a lap into his stint. So it's advantage Porsche if Rustica can absolutely throw everything at this on this lap. Because Aurelius Rustica Porsche is also being reported to the stewards for another track limits offence. Oh no. So that is the car, not individual drivers. And now the Porsche that we've just been talking about being reported to the stewards, they've now copped 5 seconds. So the stewards have looked at it, 4 track limit warnings from the race director. That then goes to the stewards and Bosch, 5 seconds. So that gives the advantage back to the Audi again, doesn't it? The gap was already up to 7 seconds, plus another 5, and Rustica falls back. You've got to say that it's a shame for him, because some of them have been done by his co-driver, but it's a team effort.
Well, yeah, that's it. At the end of the day, I mean, we were talking earlier about how when you're the second driver watching what the first driver's doing, you're wondering how difficult is he going to make it for me, how easy is he going to make it for me. And unfortunately, as they work together on this, track limits offences have managed to add up, and it's 5 seconds for car 5. And if we went off numbering them for how many seconds they got, I wouldn't want to be driving the 88 machine, I'll tell you that.
No, we do not. And there, in the background, Aurelius Rustica falling away markedly now from Mark Patterson. And the gap between Rustica and Rattel, 4.8 seconds. So that's the tipping point now. Stefan Rattel will indeed inherit second place on the amended result with that penalty for Aurelius Rustica.
And it's going to be quite a nice position to be in for him now, because even though he knows he's still catching, he just has to stay in that 5 second window. He doesn't have to overtake him on track, put the extra work in, put the actual extra pressure on the tyres just to do that. You know, he could just very happily sit behind him till the end of the race now and then gain that position. So fair play to Rattel. He's got on with the job as soon as he's come out, and he's going to reap the rewards if the race stays this way.
There is Rattel closing on Rustica. He might actually catch him before the very end, you know, because he's brought the gap down to 2.8 seconds. Now that Stefan can see the Porsche, he is absolutely flying. Of course, he's had to convince some of the brands to build cars to these GT2 regulations, but his Audi is charging along behind the Porsche and closing fast. Mark Patterson driving within himself, making sure he doesn't make any errors, and concentrating on this Gentleman's Series in Europe this year. The Fanatec GT2 European Series. He comes then into the Sudkurve, that double apex right into the first element, lets the car drift out to the curb, lines up for the clipping point for the second part of the corner here, and up towards the checkered flag. It's going to be a third win of the season then for high-class racing. Mark Patterson takes the checkered flag. He and Anders Fjordbach make it 2 out of 2 at Hockenheim. Win number 3 out of 4 races, and a great effort as Aurelius Rustica will take second on the road, but Stefan Rattel will inherit second place with Luca Piri there as he comes across the line in the Audi. So Rustica and Burgers will be third in the Porsche. And then for fourth place, it should be the winning AM, Chris Rosenberger and Hans Stuck there in the KTM over the timing line.
Patterson did a great job there, didn't he, David? We did expect a bit of a pace difference between him and Rustica. You could say that the penalty put the race to bed for the Porsche, but either way, he could have tried to still catch up and get the race lead, but it just didn't quite have the pace in the end.
Mark and I, we've never been here before. We are so surprised also, but we're so happy.
What a classic racetrack. This is a fantastic, challenging racetrack. And so he talked me out of what I was going to do, and he made me play chicken. He made me take it easy, and then we managed to win anyway.
Well, certainly a fantastic result. Well done, and you clearly loved every second.
Oh, it's beautiful. You should try it.
Fjordbach, Patterson the winners, Piri Rattel second, Rustica Burgers third, fourth, but under investigation for a pit stop infringement, the AM winners, Chris Rosenberger and Hans Stuck, fifth and second in class, Christophs, Ulrich and Lentz, and sixth, despite an extra pit stop with a bit of damage early on, Peter Gellings and Bert Langevin. Victory for Mark Patterson and Anders Fjordbach. 2 out of 2 this weekend, 3 out of 4 for the season, and very much the benchmark team.